Yo, what's going on, everyone? It's Brian and Jim here. We're drinking beer and play a game, and welcome to another episode of the Power Hour Podcast.
Yes, hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 322. Thank you for joining us tonight. We are recording this on November the 13th, 2025, the eve of the release of Call of Duty Black Ops 7. Brian, how old do you feel that there is a Black Ops 7?
You and I have said Black Ops has always been my favorite series of the offshoot series, if you will. It hits a certain thing. I kind of don't even remember the numbers. Like when I heard set, like I literally had to like look it up to remember. Oh yeah, we're at fucking 7 because that's insane. My mind and my memory of Black Ops games is so fucking bad that I know 1 very well. I remember 2, 3. I couldn't tell you shit farts about 4 or 5 or 6. Like I nothing. And it's a very fun yearly tradition, but just like last year, you are letting us down once again.
Look. Extenuating circumstances this time. Last year, because I was a cheap rat motherfucker and also didn't have an Xbox playable system to be in that ecosystem with. This year, I have a computer, I have it downloaded, but I have so much goddamn crap I have to do at work tomorrow, I just can't swing it. So, I will be playing over the weekend. I'm sorry.
No, I don't accept your apology, Jim. You could have taken off. You know what day it was. Could have put in.
Actually, I wasn't paying attention to it at all. So I was like 2 days ago, I was like, oh yeah, that is coming out this week.
For somebody who's gone to all the concerts and done all the things, you could have done it, Jim.
Look,
but
Brian,
Jim
all the
is
things
not
in
a
the
man.
Concerts, the things in the concerts need some time, Brian. All right, it needs some time.
Jim doesn't like fun. He doesn't like tradition. He doesn't respect traditions, and all he wants is his jelly. So these are things we know about Jim. This is exactly what we know Jim is about. So
right, I'm so traditional. I only eat traditional jelly. All right.
Damn it! Now you're more of a jam guy.
Jam, get the fuck out of here.
What interests me is
Dick.
Damn it, Jim. There's differing time, like, so there's always been the time zone thing, right? Like it's 12 o'clock for Eastern time, so 9 p.m. Fucking West Coast time. But if you're on PC, I think I can actually play at 9 o'clock our time. Like the PC time is different than the Xbox time. And I actually I downloaded the Xbox version to my PC. Just because I set up my Xbox in my living room because my son plays it, is obsessed with it. I didn't want to go through the whole bringing it down, so I was like, fuck it. I'll just download it on my PC and play it through there. So, be the first time trying that. I also downloaded it on that console just in case. But yeah, I don't know. I'm excited as shit. I didn't get my normal nap in. It was one of those. This is the other thing that sucks, Jim. Do you ever lay down for a nap? You get like 5 minutes, your eyes open, and now you can't go back to sleep, and then you're just laying there, and you're like, well, what the fuck was that?
That's called every time I take a nap, Brian, because my body hates me.
Yeah, so I don't know. I went to Wawa, got my hoagie, got my bag of Doritos, got my Sody Pops, and also got myself a nice coffee that's sitting in the fridge just to try and amp myself up. But yeah, decided we're going to do this tonight beforehand. So Chambers, I did decide I'm going to have a good beer start me off with the it's one of the last of the variety pack you got me from the Mud Hen Brewery. It's their Wildwood Haze, 7%, really good hazy IPA. But once I'm done this, I think I'll switch over to the hams. I don't want to be too drunk starting my Black Ops journey.
Just to get you comfortable.
Well, also, dude, we used to play this. I mean, obviously, we've done midnight releases. I know you didn't always, but like since World at War was basically the turning point of like starting that kind of tradition. And then we've really solidified it with Modern 2.
Yeah, Modern 3 was my first midnight release.
Yeah, but like I'm at the point where I used to care so much about KD, about my actual stats. I don't even know if I look at them anymore. Like in the last couple releases, like I don't give two fucks about it anymore. Of course, I still want to do the best. I just don't care. I'm just there to have fun, Jim. That's it.
Bri, you're old. It's over.
But what about you? What are you drinking tonight to celebrate your disrespect of our tradition?
Well, Brian, I am drinking from the obscure brewing company based out of Cape May Courthouse, New Jersey. I was just down in Jersey for the weekend, so went to a bunch of breweries while I was down there. And, Bri, when you think winter, or you think fall, what do you want? What do you want when you're outside and doing a little camping, a little fire pitting? You want some goddamn s'mores. So, what I have me here is an interesting one. It is a s'more, it's their Sticky Fingers, a s'more-inspired sour. 5.6% alcohol, good old 1 pint. It's got s'mores all over the can, art and stuff like that. The beer itself, the head, it dissipates, well, I've been drinking it already, but the head dissipates super fast, absolutely no lacing. Just a sweet aroma with almost a little tinge of like graham cracker in the aroma there. And a little bit of I'm sure there's a lot of vanilla in there to try to give you that like marshmallowy-esque taste. I don't really it doesn't taste like a s'more. Like, obviously, it's tough to do, but some of the spices are in there. But it's like a very mild sour as far as sours go, too. So it's an interesting bird. And when you don't have any of the head or anything, it kind of just looks like Coca-Cola.
You said it's a sour?
Mm-hmm.
That is such a weird fucking concept. A s'mores sour. So, like, what is the sour part of it? What is it, like, fruitiness? Is it like
it gives you that sour bite in like the back of your mouth kind of deal, but it's not like overly fruity either. I think it's just more like sweet.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because like every time I've ever had a s'more
and I
beer,
just spilled on myself. God fucking.
It's always porters, it's stouts, because you get that super sugary. You get the toasty marshmallow malt. You get, like you said, graham crackers, vanilla, chocolate. Not one of those things, unless graham crackers the only thing, because I've had some key lime pie sours.
Mm-hmm.
That would be such a fucking weird one to have. I feel like it has the potential to probably not sit too well in your belly.
Maybe. I've had it already. I've had like 2. No, I don't think I've ever had more than 1 in a sitting. I'm saving 1 for you to try it. But yeah, it's an interesting one. It's not like one I think I would ever go back and buy again, but I certainly don't dislike it. It's just, it's good, but it's weird. But it's good. It's like me.
Just take out the good part. It's weird.
I'm a good boy.
Oh, Jim. Well, you let us down with tradition, and you've been fucking off on your gaming. But have you gotten any good gaming in? Except for StarCraft. You've been gaming that like a goddamn wildebeest. But what have you done as far as other gaming this past week?
Yep, a lot of StarCraft. Head on over to Jim's StarCraft Struggles. Just check out my slow, very steady, but very slow improvement over there. But yeah, normal gaming. I was doing a little bit more with Metroid Prime, and then I had a delightful little experience this past weekend where, with my neighbors down the shore with them for the weekend, we're playing Mario. I brought my Switch and stuff like that down so we could play a little Mario Kart with the kiddos. So, that's fun as always. But in between, we had a pizza delivery, started eating, and my friend's 2-year-old son, he picks up he's playing with like one of the broken Joy-Cons, and he's like, pretend like he's playing all that, all good. At some point, he puts that down and picks up one of my remaining good Joy-Cons, and he's playing with it. And then, as 2-year-olds do, he chucks it. So, there is a hardwood floor, but there is a nice big area rug. And I went, okay, not good, but it's still probably fine. But beyond the area rug is tile in front of the fireplace. Brian, where do you think it landed?
The tile.
It was the tile. So, yeah, as we start playing again, my friend goes, oh, did you know that your good Joy-Con has drift too? And then in my head, I'm going, no, it doesn't. So, It definitely does now, though, because then I played with it. So I went, all right, time to buy another set of Joy-Cons. So that'll be my fun there. So a little bit of a delay for the Metroid Prime. But in that sense, I moved on, and Daddy did his homework, Brian. I went through, finished up Max Payne 1. So we had off for Veterans Day, and I sat there, and I'm like, I'm finishing this motherfucker. And finish it, I did. So I played through the whole thing. Like I said, playing through the PS4 version, which is a port of the PS2 version, which, unbeknownst to me, when I first started, was apparently the worst port of it. So that'll be a little caveat I have to throw in as we're doing our review. But yeah, I finished that off. So I at least got some productivity done.
Okay. In this past week, I as well beat Max Payne. Like you, did a PS4 version, well, PS5.
PS5
AKA,
playing the PS4, which is a port of the PS2. Yeah. Same.
Yeah. I have the PS2, but for capture's sake, for clarity, I was like, you know what? I can get the best picture quality from the PS5. Oh boy. I'll save what I can for the review, but there's stuff I still enjoyed and liked about it. There were moments I really did not like about it.
So, without spoiling, there's a thing I complained about a while ago on this podcast, and as Brian started playing it, he sends me a text going, "Motherfucker, this part," and I was just like, welcome to Oz, bitch.
I know I want to say with most certainty I probably definitely beat that game back in the day. However, I blocked out these terrible parts. So yeah, you'll have to stay tuned for when we release that review. I'm sure if you've ever played Max Payne, you guys know the parts, because it's not an uncommon thing that people get angry about. But yeah, I basically stuck with that. I did a tiny bit of Power Wash Simulator, but really I just focused on Max Payne because I wanted to get all the footage. So got it all. It's all done. I discovered 3 times when there was glitches that fucking froze the game. Luckily, I didn't turn it off, but there was a solid minute or two, and you'll see it in the footage, maybe in the thing, where the game just like froze. Where
Weird.
like I like pause it, unpause, like I had to do all this shit. So yeah, yeah.
Huh, I played the same version. Never had that, stumbled across that, so that'll be interesting.
I came across a couple different bugs. I also discovered a glitch in one of the things where you can fall down an elevator shaft, but it doesn't kill you.
I did that too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, I discovered all the fun, Jim. All the fun.
Nothing like restarting levels with unskippable cutscenes, ain't it, Brian?
Well, see, when you said that, I was like, Jim's an idiot. Because I thought you meant the comic book scenes. I was like, you can skip these. Mm-hmm. But when you meant the in-game things, I was like, okay. Because at first I was going to be like, what? You're an idiot.
Thank you for your default being Jim's an idiot.
Well, can you blame me?
Yes!
But yeah.
Yes, damn it!
We are doing that, obviously, in response to the final request for our reviews, thanks to our Patreon. So, Chambers, what questions do we have this week?
Questions that you can... Well, that worked. Questions that you can put in over at patreon.com/drinkabeerandplayagame, where for as little as $2 a month, you can ask a question and we will answer on each and every single one of these Power Hour podcasts. So, one question this week, but it's from good old Burn Retinas. If DBPG launched an arcade bar, would you run it more like a Dave & Buster's or populate it with classic cabinets? And what would be the first 5 games/attractions that you would display?
So, if you go first, I got to think about that.
All right, so I would definitely go the barcade route more than like a Dave & Buster's, just because I would want something that I would want to be at more. No disrespect to Dave & Buster's, but I would want something more geared towards me, more traditional. It's Brian over here saying I don't like the tradition, you son of a bitch. But yeah, as far as arcade game goes, you need at least, if you're going to have 5 to start with, then you basically got to hit like all the major ones. So you need like a good old fashioned multiplayer cap. So it's either going to be Turtles, but I would probably throw X-Men in there, like the 6-player cabinet. You need a light gun game. So for that, I'd be torn between Area 51 or T2 Arcade. I'd probably go T2 Arcade. I would say you need a fighting game. So I would put like Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 in there, I guess. Street Fighter would probably be more traditional, but when I think arcade, I always saw it more Mortal Kombat, at least for me growing up. I would say you probably need a racing game. So at that point, well, shit, what would I put in there? Like a Daytona, I guess, or maybe like Rush 2049. I always loved playing that at arcades. So screw it, I'll make it a little bit more recent. So within the last 25 years. So I'll throw Rush 2049 in there, and then of course, me being me, got to have you a pinball machine in there. So I would probably either put like one of the Williams classic ones in there, like Whirlwind or Taxi, something like that. So yeah, those would probably be my picks, along with a smorgasbord of beers. And of course, it'll feature the Philly Special, which is a Pabst and a shot for, well, I set the price, so probably do like $5 for that.
Damn. Yeah, I'm like you. Like, if you're only getting 5, I want variety. So racing games, I would probably go. You took mine. I was gonna go Crazy Taxi just because I loved it, but I would go.
Do you do a Hydro Thunder?
Yeah, I just need some kind of cabinet. Like Rush, whatever, 20, whatever one that is. I want one standard dual car racer there for people. I need a big shooter, so I would probably go with like. I want to do Time Crisis, one of them. I need the clicky guns for sure.
Shocked you didn't go House of the Dead.
I was thinking of that, but I like the clicky click. Classic arcade beat 'em up. Fuck, there's too many. You know what? I want the full X-Men cabinet with all the players. I want that. I'm gonna throw in there basketball. I want one of those machines because that's always a fun time. And you know what? I'll throw it in there. I'll throw a pinball machine for you pinball weirdos. Like, I was going to pick a fighting game, but like to just have one fighting game's weird. And I was going to cop out and be like, well, do a fighting cabinet that has all the games. So, yeah. So I would do those 5. Drinks, I'm going to have hams on tap. Or hams in a can. Either one.
Hams on tap. Now that I've never seen around here.
Yeah. Probably doesn't exist anywhere. So yeah, that's pretty much it. But
I bet hams on tap is like a Minnesota thing.
Yeah, so I mean maybe I just do the cans and it's like really cheap, whatever's not going to lose me money. But that would be my go-to.
Yeah, buy
spread
a case
the hams love.
Buy a case for 18, but basically have a whole case sell for about 30, Almost double your money, make some profit there, but still not breaking the bank for the peoples out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, good answers and great question.
I love that question.
That is a dream I would love to have, and God, what an investment that would be. Or, Bri, we can make it easy on ourselves. We can just go steal everything from Scarlet Sprites' basement.
Could do that too.
All right, Joe, turn around. Just turn around for a minute.
Joe, don't listen to this part.
Joe, I'm sorry. It has to be done. But yeah, no, thank you once again to everyone for all the support out there. Whether you're listening on iTunes, Spotify, or Podbean, make sure to check all the different links. God damn it, we have to remember one of these days to fix the fucking Spotify link. We had people ask for it, and I'm like, yeah, it's 100 episodes behind, but here's the link. So we got to get that shit fixed. But yeah, appreciate all the help, all the support. And speaking of support, it's time for the affiliate codes. Head on over to ghettogamer.net. Use our code DBPG. Get 20% off your first order. And he's got all kinds of good stuff over there. NES, Super NES, N64, games, controllers, consoles, accessories. Everything you can need to start a collection at competitive pricing that won't kill you. And you're not giving eBay insane fees and crap like that and dealing with those sellers, head on over there. It's a quality spot. And if you're looking into maybe how to start a business, maybe an arcade bar, head on over to Skillshare, use our code DBPG30, get 30% off a year of one class. So you can do like marketing or business management or how to be better at video games. The world is your oyster over at Skillshare.
Now, as I've said many times, I actually did sign up for Skillshare, so I'm checking out some courses. So be sure, use our link, check it out, and I always said, go to our buddy Ghetto Gamer if you want reasonable prices. I'm always for supporting mom and pop shops, but support our buddy first, and you can get reasonable prices. Start your collection small, and then build from there. So check out those links. Fuck
the mom and pops. They upcharge everything you actually want to buy.
Damn it, Chip.
Screw the mom and pops. Just go to Ghetto Gamer.
But thank you guys for support as always. Mm-hmm. So, Chambers, before we get into some of the more interesting things, what is our comment of the week?
So, Brian, this comment of the week, for once, comes to us from the world of Twitter. And as we're about to get into Grand Theft Auto 6. Big announcement this week, Brian. And that big announcement is that it is getting delayed once again. So, our good old buddy Alex Perez writes to us, I still can't believe we got a Lost Power Hour episode before GPA 6. Shaking my head. And really, one was bound to happen first, and I guess we were the first to fuck up enough because, man, Rockstar loves them a nice little bit of delay. Push back now to Thursday, November the 19th, 2026. Enjoy that extra year of wait, everybody.
It's, these humongous games, the delays, I'm just so numb to, I would rather see like a game where we know. And I don't know if this is just a case of these games they announced too early just to try and build hype. I don't know what it is, but we know how much money's been poured into this game. And, I'm not shocked. Rockstar especially. Red Dead 2, how many friggin' delays did that thing go through? I mean...
I think a good chunk.
So, not shocked.
Is this, the third delay so far for GTA 6, I want to say?
I believe so, but here's the deal. It's easy to like give them shit even though they have all the money in the world, but I just look at it and I go, when you play those games, like when I played Red Dead this year, man, the amount of detail, the amount of shit in the world, the amount of stories, the amount of this, like you're like, fuck, okay. It's different than other games. Like when you hear other games being delayed, especially then you see what the finished product is, you're like, the fuck was this delayed for? When you play a Rockstar game, especially these like flagship titles, I hate to say it, you can kind of understand. And now with the complexity of the online, which is their lifeblood of these games, they're probably putting so much effort into it that, yeah, I don't know. I just, I'm not shocked. Not saying it's excusable, but I'm also like, yeah, once you guys get this game, that'll be your game for 10 years or whatever it is. Like, these games have lasting power better than any other game. So,
and, like, to your point with the level of detail they put in, like, I saw a tweet where a guy was like, I don't really think you get, like, how insane Rockstar is anymore, where for, like, Red Dead 2, for instance, they put in, like, completely lifelike, perfectly scaled clouds, procedurally generated to have the randomness and, like, the right size and shape and like seasonal patterns and crap like that for a game where you're never in the sky. I think there's maybe one small tiny part where like you actually go up in the sky for like a split second, but like that level of detail for such a minute part of a game is just absolutely insane. So yeah, no wonder these friggin' budgets are ballooning until the billions at this point. And I'm not even mad at Rockstar for delaying it because like at this point, with the level of hype behind this game and how much money they've thrown into it, if this isn't the biggest game of all time, Rockstar's in a lot of trouble. So they have to get it right. So that's...
I have no doubt they will, though. That's one of those things like, I'm sure it'll make all the money.
They have the pedigree, but That turned out to not be the only thing that people got mad at Rockstar for this past week, as Rockstar issued a statement on the dismissal of 40 employees, stating to Bloomberg that the decision was made because these developers had leaked confidential information. Last week, we took action against a small number of individuals who were found to be distributing and discussing confidential information in a public forum, violating a violation of our company policies. This was in no way related to people's right to join a union or engage in union activities. So, for someone like me, I went, wait, what the hell? What? Union? What the hell is this union crap? Why are you bringing up unions? That seems odd. Well, the fact of the matter is this public forum they were talking about was just a Discord server. A private Discord server of about a number of Rockstar employees who are, yes, based in the UK, who are trying to form a union. And there, of course, once that information got leaked out, people started posting stuff like, it's worth mentioning that it's being delayed because they just fired 40 people in a union-busting effort, and now the staff is revolting, which is an interesting theory. And then, of course, you get to the stage of anonymous leaks, Brian. We all love anonymous leaks. So there's an account called Videotech UK that says an anonymous Rockstar employee has made a post on GTA forums with the ongoing situation at Rockstar Games. This has been verified by GTA forum staff. So basically, he's saying that he has been a developer with the company, and the Discord in question was a member of about 250 people who are trying to form a union in there. The people who have been fired, basically, the classic scummy corporate move. And this is all according to this leak, so who knows if it's what actually happened or not. All allegedly. Please, Rockstar, don't sue. But he was saying that, everyone in question who got fired basically got called into HR for a friendly chat. And once they got there, they got handed a piece of paper saying, you got fired for breaking policy. And for anyone who wasn't in the office at the time, they got called with like a less than 2-minute phone call. Apparently, one of the people who got fired started to have a panic attack, to which the HR rep hung up during that. So that always sounds like a good move. He started saying how these are colleagues at Rockstar who have been working there for some as much as 18 years in all different kind of fields, whether it's graphics, animators, QA testers, designers, programmers, and producers. He starts going down more about that stuff, and he says this was union busting with nothing else. Everyone fired was a union member. There was also predominantly from those who were on the union organizing committee of each UK studio. So the union had reached 200 plus members, taking us to over 10% threshold required to seek recognition and begin engaging in collective bargaining, allowing us to negotiate directly with management on the key issues that affected us: worsening crunch, inadequate pay, and inflexible working arrangements. So he goes on from there and basically says, for us in the union who have ambition to make Rockstar a happier, fairer, safer, more equitable place, that's all, which has happened, clearly shows that they care more about the well-being of our colleagues of Rockstar than the company does. And he went on there, more stuff, blah, 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 blah. So, if that's all true, it's a very bad look. But then you get the other side where there's a tweet here from Reese Riley. Goes by Kiwi Talks. He is a game developer interviewer. And he goes on to say, with a couple of points, the union layoffs in the UK and the delay are not related. There were over 6,000 employees at Rockstar. You aren't delaying a game over 35 people getting laid off. That's not how these things work. Not to mention Rockstar devs were telling me about the delay well before the union layoffs. Rockstar is extremely compartmentalized. A huge number of staff don't even know what's in a lot of the game because they are only exposed to the specific chunk of work they are assigned. This is done because the game is so large in scope and also for security. I've seen some insider, quote-unquote, saying that it's being delayed until 2027. The game's in a messy state. But he's saying he doubts that because the game is content complete. They're just optimizing it. And leaks from a former Rockstar employee said that morale is low, and no doubt that this is the case in Edinburgh, but that doesn't translate to all of Rockstar. So, interesting food for thought. I thought the 6,000 employees thing was probably the most telling because God knows probably the big chunk of those workers are currently working on GTA right now, you'd have to imagine. So, and yeah, 35 people at a 6,000 person company, it's nothing.
It was a sensationalized story where, all right, could it be union busting? Could it not? Like, it's not union busting the way they're trying to sell it. It sounds like it's like they once again, it. You might not agree with it, but Rockstar, if they're like, "Hey, you're sharing shit on this place," I tried reading some of it. The thing I couldn't tell from all these sources was like, were they leaking anything actually confidential? On first glance, it's like I don't see much, but they, any company has probably things of like, here's shit you don't talk about or share, and maybe some of that info is classified under there. I'm sure what highlighted it is this union shit. So they were probably micro focused on it versus if it was just like people talking and they weren't associating with union people and talking about the stuff, they probably wouldn't have been highlighted. But yeah, when I saw the 6,000 employees, I'm like, yeah. So that whole link of this is why it's delayed, I'm like, yeah, no, they're not going to delay the thing they poured billions of dollars in for 40 people. Like you just don't do that. So, interesting. I mean, this is a thing that'll come and go really fast, and in the blip of time, whenever the game does come out and you talk about delays, this will be forgotten. We hate hearing about people getting laid off in gaming because unfortunately it's such a happens all the time situation. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just I'm more interested like the whole like where he talks about the delay till 2027. That's the one I went, okay, that's interesting. But I don't think it'll go that far.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's probably going to wind up being the litmus test for this, where it's like, if it does get delayed until 2027, then it's like, oh, that anonymous developer said that was going to happen. What else is he right about? That kind of deal. So you never know. I mean, honestly, 35 people, like, it's Rockstar. They can fill those spots very quickly, I'm sure. But yeah, I mean, union busting bad. So if they only need a certain percentage, like if they only needed 200 people, 34 is a huge chunk of that. That's, about 20-ish%, a little over 20%. So that puts a big damper into its ability to go to collective bargaining. So I'm not saying that's out of the realm of possibility, and it probably, they probably found a way to get rid of a bunch of people and they took it. That's corporate bullshit right there, but it's also is what it is. I mean, I don't know what the best way for all these people to talk and share information would be outside of a private Discord. So, like, you wonder how Rockstar found out. Maybe there is a guy on the inside. I don't know. So that's where, Alex Jones Jimmy's coming out right now. Right, I think there is a rat.
Could be. Definitely could be a rat, Jim. I mean, 6,000 employees, someone's probably a rat.
Yeah. There's probably a rat, and they're probably...
Give 10% to people that are probably not the most best.
Yeah. And Rockstar probably knew who was part of the union committee, and they probably knew who was associated with them. Probably went to a certain person and went, hey, get in good with them. We'll give you an extra bump in pay, but you show us some things. You let us know. So...
Yeah, I just... yeah, I don't know. I be careful out there, union talk, or if you're on Discords. I don't know.
Yeah, just remember, I mean, unfortunately, the internet is forever, and the internet never forgets. And no matter how encrypted or secretive you think you are, you're always one click away from everything you've ever posted being everyone's knowledge. So, good luck with that.
But Chambers, let's move away for once from negativity or something to, I would call it not shocking, or I don't even know if I want to call it good news or whatever, but we were speculating a lot about how are the Nintendo Switch 2 sales going to do, like numbers wise. And from Wario64, excuse me, the Nintendo has revised Nintendo Switch sales forecast from 15 million to 19 units by March 31st, 2026. So should preface that this is a forecast. It's not the actual numbers. So they've increased this. I have the link up, obviously, but, their hardware sales are 15 to 19, 45 to 48. I don't know. Do you think they're going to hit that number, Jim? I don't know how reliable Nintendo numbers are.
Yeah, I mean, you have to imagine when they put out these forecasts. Yeah, I mean, if this is Nintendo's internal forecasts, they're obviously trying to also, I don't know if they're hitting the end of a fiscal year or that kind of deal, or maybe a quarterly thing. So trying to make the investors happy by putting out the, hey, we think we're hitting this many numbers, hey, everything's going great. As it says over here, it's a 25% increase from its previous projection, so it's a lot. I mean, I wouldn't be fully shocked because the Switch was such a massive hit, but it's also like, that's a crazy amount of units sold in under a year for a system with like 3 games. So, I don't know. I wouldn't be shocked if it happens, but if it doesn't reach that height, I would also not be shocked at all. You know what? Not to be fence-sitter, Jimmy, I'm going to say it doesn't hit 19 million, just because what do they have? What are they going to have that's going to jump it up another 4 million extra units?
That's why I'm also, yeah, I don't believe it. To your point, like, cool, upscaled Switch games, the 2 or 3 like exclusives. Like, I don't know. I don't, unless they know they have something between now and then that they're banking, like that's going to be our seller, and that maybe they just haven't announced.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's already been like little controversies around each game. Like, we're already at the phase, not even a year out from release, where people are like, wait, why the fuck was Mario Kart $80? And there's also the other big exclusive, DK Bonanza, where the first DLC has already been slated to release, and DLC doesn't get developed 2 months after a game gets released. So people who played it, there's a lot of speculation that there's like, they always felt like something felt like it got taken out of the game. So more likely than not, this DLC that you can pay for is probably just a section that was already in the game that they just took out to milk more money from you. So, which would not shock me one bit at all with current day Nintendo. So, yeah, it's not been the smoothest of releases. You can go to any Walmart in our area, and there's a shitload of Switch 2s on the shelf. So, it's not like the Switch 1 where you couldn't find them for a year or something like that. So, yeah, it definitely seems like the hype has been dying down really quick, and it's all Nintendo's fault.
Yeah, so Jim and I are definitely naysayers. You guys let us know in the comments. They're going to hit those sales. They're going to beat them. They're going to fail. I'm interested. The thing that annoys me whenever I talk sales is the amount of people like trying to dunk on PS2 and Sony. And it's like, this is a projection. It's not real sales. Like, people are like taking it like it's gospel. Like, this is true. This is what the number is going to be. It's like, calm your tits. Let's see what happens. And take it from there. I have no doubt the Switch 2 will sell like hotcakes. I still think at the end of the day, it's not going to sell as much as the original Switch. Until I see some game that is like, holy shit. I don't know. But then again, who knows? Nintendo never, I can't say never fails.
Yeah, it's not like Nintendo never fails, but I mean, it's still like, even if they hit 15 million, that's a lot of fucking units sold for having 2 games in the first year. And there's one interesting tweet here for some comparisons after the first 2 quarters of being for sale. The Switch 2 is at 10.36 million, whereas the PS5 is at 7.8, PS4 is at 7.6. The Wii, venerable Wii with 100 million sold overall, was at 5.8. The DS was at 5.27. The original Switch at 4.7 million. So the Switch 2 has already outsold it by more than double to this point. I don't think it's sustainable, but, something to think about. 3DS at 4.3, PS3 at 3.5, and the lowly Wii U at 3.45 million. So, I mean...
So they're hurting.
Yeah, they're hurting for money. It's just terrible. But, Bri, I mean, they're releasing their Virtual Boy for Nintendo Switch Online. And
thank God.
Headset. So...
That... all 32 games or whatever it is.
We're saved. Nintendo's back, baby. But getting away from Nintendo's questionable decisions and questionable sales and projections, like, the Switch 2 might be a colossal hit, but one thing that we can almost certainly guarantee will be a colossal hit will be the Super Mario Galaxy movie. the sequel to the Super Mario Brothers movie, and just what was that? Yesterday, the official trailer was released. Brian, I assume you watched the trailer by now?
I sure did. I didn't show it to Logan yet. I'm going to show it to him tomorrow because he'll definitely be excited. Jim, as much as I really do like the first movie, man, my Mario knowledge is gone. Like, I know of Rosalina. I know of things, but man, I think my knowledge of ooh, it's that from this game. I completely fell off once it hit GameCube. Once a GameCube Mario games, I haven't played since then. Didn't play any of the handhelds on any of the other things. So any inside thing that I could know, I don't know. But hey, it still looks good. The first movie is proven. We talked about it with the Sonic movies. All 3 movies of those, damn good. I have no doubt, no matter how many of these Mario movies they make, they're all going to be good or entertaining at least.
Yeah, and I mean, the first movie had all the questions around it about how's Chris Pratt going to be? How's Illumination going to do making a Mario movie? Blah, 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 blah. And the movie was fucking great. I loved it.
Yeah.
So, whenever my daughter puts it on, I'm just like, oh boy, let's just sit down and watch it with her. And I laugh my ass off. I think it's awesome. So this, I expect nothing different, basically. And also, like you, I never played Galaxy. I have 3 different versions of it because, of course, I do. But
of course,
I've never gotten around to playing it. So maybe will I before the movie comes out? Possibly. Most likely no. But there's always a chance. But yeah, outside of knowing Rosalina from Mario Party and Smash and shit like that, I don't know the lore in Mario Galaxy. I don't really care. But it's also a Mario property, so it's not like there's that much story anyway. So it'll probably be a fun time and make all the money. I'll take my kid first weekend probably.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You and I will probably coordinate to go together.
I mean, that's going to happen for sure.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm excited. It's one of those things I feel like we've talked about before. We knew they were making it, and then seeing the trailer drop, I was like, oh shit. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean,
I like these April reviews or releases because I feel like each time it was right around Logan's birthday for Sonic or Super Mario. So that seems to be the time that they like to release it. And I like that because depending on how early in April, it can be a nice little hey, I'll take you because it's right around your birthday. So yeah, excited to see what's going to happen. But Jim, speaking of things that seemingly dropped out of nowhere and just happened as of yesterday, and it seems to be the hottest talk of the town more than anything else we've discussed so far, is there's new Steam hardware coming out in 2026, and that includes the Steam controller, the Steam machine, and the Steam frame. So I have both pictures up from the tweet from Wario64 once again. Seems to be a lot of focus, Jim, on the Steam machine and the design and the choices. Let's get the boring shit out of the way real quick, though. My favorite thing is a tweet you have from Sammy Stern. He said, can someone explain this to me like I'm a 5-year-old? Is the machine weaker, stronger than a PS5 or Xbox X? So basically, yes, it's a little weaker than those. It's about as good as a Series S, is what somebody kind of just said in general.
Yeah. Yeah, it's more capable than a Series S, but not quite as capable as a PS5 or an Xbox Series X. So, yeah, and it's also Linux-based, which means you can do a lot of stuff with it. And since it's a PC, you'll have, Steam and the Xbox kind of playability and the fact that there's PlayStation games on Steam now. So it's this could be a hell of a competitor in the market right now. Obviously, there's a thing where you kind of go, we've been here before, both with the Steam controller. I have an original Steam controller in a shelf over here. I got it for $5 because no one bought it, and they were just fire selling that shit. And Steam machines were a thing in the mid-2010s, and no one bought them because it was a whole different world, basically. But honestly, with how expensive the PS 5 is with its games, with the complete free fall that Microsoft seems to be in right now. What do you call it? Mr. Metager had a great tweet where it's like, he's like, did Gaben just have like smell like blood in the water and just release this just to be like the final nail in the coffin for Microsoft? Because honestly, if you're using like the Xbox just as a Game Pass machine, and Microsoft has announced that they're going to be releasing $1,000, $1,500 mini computers as their next console, why would you just not buy a Steam machine, get the whole Steam library as well as Xbox Game Pass, and have everything there, even if it isn't like the top end of performance and graphics and crap like that. Even though it is like, I saw a different tweet that said it's basically optimized for 1440 display, which is more than good enough for most people anyway.
Yeah. It's interesting. You and I talked about this. Like, the whole complaint of the new Xbox console is, once again, it's basically a PC now. It's like, what's the appeal of that? If Steam can pull this off, that's why I said the plug and play adaptability of like, I just want to put something near my TV, hook it up, have it be a system. If you're playing your Steam games and you got Xbox, that sounds exactly like what Xbox was going to do, except for the whole Xbox, all the game compatibility, backwards compatibility. And I'm sure there are some things, like you said, I'm sure the new Xbox system will be like the highest of highest tech for display and all that.
For like a pre-built thing, yeah.
But this is, what I like about this is, now, let me be very clear, dependent on how much it costs, because that's going to be the fucking telltale right there.
Yep.
This could be a viable contender, like how we're talking about. Like, you don't just want PlayStation and Nintendo and just have that, because Xbox, whatever, they're whoring their shit out to everyone. And yes, their consoles will continue to sell, but they'll do poorest. Throw a competitor like this in there, see how it does, because Steam is debatably, I don't know, I'm sure there's an easy way to get the numbers, but like Steam has to be a high competitor to player base versus Nintendo or even PlayStation. So if you now translate that to like other casuals who can now like never got to touch the Steam library, because those libraries are untouched with how much content's in there. Because if you have your Steam library, you also now have PS4 and PS5 games, some of the bigger ones. So yeah, it'll be interesting. And like you said, because it's Linux, you'll be able to have some interesting mods and hack shit in there, I'm sure. Still won't be full PC compatibility, because PC nerds will be like, oh, but my PC can do this. Shut the fuck up. But it's that nice kind of gap between the full-on build your own PC and your locked-in console. So I'm excited for it, but man, oh man, that thing better keep its ass under 600. It better be under.
If it's under 600, I think it's game over for Microsoft, because it does everything we said Microsoft already does. So also a couple of things that I didn't put links down here. Apparently, according to Gabe Newell, all of these, whether it's the Steam Deck, the Steam PC, or even the Steam, what the fuck's the visor called again? The Steam Frame. So, quick side note, the Steam Frame is basically going right after the MetaQuest, because the Steam Frame is not tied to a PC. So, much like the Meta, it's going to be an all-in-one system out of your headset, okay. So, holy crap, is that a fly in the ointment for, putting themselves into that competitive market? And
yeah.
Also, the Steam controller, I mean, this is a big upgrade over the original one, because the original one everyone looked at and went, what the hell is that? And anyone familiar with the Steam Deck knows what those trackpads are that they're throwing on the bottom of this thing. So people apparently like them for certain games. I can imagine they can come in handy. It looks a bit gaudy. It kind of like looks like it's going to have the hand feel of like a Jaguar controller, but it's Steam, it's Gabe Newell. He'll find a way to make it comfortable. And yeah, but the big thing I wanted to get to is, according to Newell, from a tweet I saw, so it could be bullshit, but I choose to believe Brian. You can basically use a micro SD card on all of these devices, and you'll basically be able to easily move your Steam library from one system to another. Ooh. Just by popping in your goddamn SD card.
That's pretty fucking smart.
So if that's true, that's Holy shit. Convenient.
That is, that's all the convenience.
So, once again, like we said, it all comes down to price. It all comes down to the almighty dollar, but from how it looks on its face right now, it's very cool. And actually, Brian, I'm going to jump ahead a little bit to something you mentioned, how Xbox is throwing their name on everything. You know, different controllers, different systems, different mini consoles, different handhelds, the Azuses, all that kind of good stuff. With their slogan, "This is an Xbox." Well, within the past week, someone took that phrase in a bit of a different direction. He's a guy we've talked about on this show before. Good old David Scott Jaffe, the former project lead for Twisted Metal and God of War and Mickey Mania. Tons of games. Industry legend, now finding himself in a bit of the lolcow sphere for just how boisterous and over the top he is over the last couple of years on social media. He basically just sticks to streaming and YouTube now. He's like a very, very left-wing daily news guy. So I guess, like, imagine Review Tech USA, but, you know, with some actual credentials and even more left-wing, if you want to put it that way. Or almost essentially maybe like the anti-Smash JT, like the whole other end of the spectrum, but basically the same kind of sphere at this point. So there is a person who is named Monster, who is a Call of Duty Warzone streamer and content creator. And he, you know, a thing that we all unfortunately have to go through at some point in our lives, the pain of loss, with a tweet on November 5th where he says, "Dad, you bought me my first Xbox. If it wasn't for you, I would have never fallen in love with the game." And there's a picture of the gravesite. He has 2 controllers right there. Nice little touching picture. David Jaffe decides to quote tweet this and say, "This is an Xbox." Brian, would you say that this joke landed?
As someone who I like to allow anyone, you should be able to joke about anything. I want to say that. But it's got to be funny, right? Well-timed, timing, cadence. There's a lot of things that make a joke funny. Yeah, this one didn't land at all. For a guy that I don't know if he knows him, but to just take this opportunity to say that. Now, I think people read into it like it was more malicious than it was. It was just a really terrible, dumb joke of him trying to be funny.
Play on words, yes.
Like, no, he's a fucking idiot. Because, I'm sorry, anyone who posts, like, you're grieving the loss of someone you love, I'm just going to say it. Within that same day, or any amount of time, unless it's one of your best friends and that's how you guys joke and fuck around with each other, personally, you don't kind of try to make a joke of it, a meme of it, or whatever. Like, he did that to get the engagement, and for him to, like, try and now take this stance, like, you know, oh, people are too soft, and I think you should be able to joke about anything. And we, like you said, we've talked about him before. He seems like, I don't know. It's just weird. I definitely think it was a terribly placed, terribly done joke. But yeah.
So he goes on to, you know, subtweet himself because he says, "And before you come at me, losing parents suck. Both my mom and dad are dead and I miss them with all the time, but I can still laugh about shit and they would have as well. Joking aside, though, I'm sorry for your loss," to the guy. And then he goes on to, we get to the double down phase, Brian, like any good lolcow, where he says, "Oh, shut up, you fucking babies. My parents are dead as well. It sucks. And even when they died, my dad died on Halloween, and you can bet we laughed about it. We tried to accept and grieve and mourn, and at the same time, we didn't become a bunch of overly serious assholes." So, bad response enough, but then he decided to take to the world of video and content creation, Brian, to explain further. So he originally had this uploaded to YouTube, which he later took down. So in a tweet from the 9th, which is about 4 days after the whole kerfuffle started, as one could say, he writes, "So all of you guys know, the earlier video was not hidden because I didn't stand by the video or the tweet. It was a concern for the algorithm and wanting my YouTube main page to stay focused on pure gameplay stuff. So now here it is, not to be deleted, on Twitter. tear into it if you like, but I wanted you to know the logic behind the privating of the video. It's a 5.5-minute video where he basically says everything he said in his tweet, but again. And it's actually like funny because he doubles down on how it was a joke and how he thought it was funny and how he says people are free to joke about anything, which, coming from you, that's funny. And then he also goes on to instant, like, damage control mode for, like, his side. Yeah. Because, of course, people are going to be going after him because he has a blue check mark. And, you know, if you're super liberal, everyone hates the check mark, hates Elon Musk. You're giving Elon Musk money. Why are you doing that? And he's like, well, I want people to make sure that they know what I'm streaming. It's like, okay. And then he, you know, then he goes on to say, like, you know, my explanation was good. The guy liked the tweet. And it's like, okay, the guy liked the tweet. Maybe he's, like, being a bigger man and just, like, kind of accepting it and trying to move on, whereas he keeps doubling down because he can't take criticism. But it's like, let's cut all the bullshit here. Real quick. Here's my take. If it's you're a dad and they die and you make a joke about it, of course, fine. That's how you cope. That's your right to do. It's your family. I don't see how anyone can joke about someone else's dad dying, a person that they don't know, and even though it wasn't a joke about the dad dying, it was poking fun at Xbox, but at the expense of a guy who just fucking died and who's mourning. Maybe don't do that. Maybe it's not the smartest thing in the goddamn world. Maybe if you don't know the person extremely close who would actually get the joke, maybe leave that in the draft bin.
That's my whole thing. Once again, I don't think he was doing this maliciously. I don't think he meant to do this to say, like, haha, your dad's dead. Like, it was done in poor timing, poor taste. I think the death of most people, it shows how shitty most people are when your immediate thing is like, I want to make a joke about it. Once again, now if that's how you're grieving with someone you lost and you yourself are making a joke, different story. Do whatever you want. But for someone who doesn't, like, unless you know the person personally, like, to reach out, like, it's just so fucking dumb. And it's just, dude, you don't need to try and show your wit or your cleverness or what. Like, I hate when fucking people be like, I got a clever take on this. This is no. Do that with anything else. I don't care. Don't do it with the death of somebody and when they're grieving. So I don't think he was as malicious. I think it was a stupid joke. He should have deleted it. I think the doubling down, people only get defensive when they know they've been called out for doing some dumb shit, right? Like, if he truly didn't mean anything by it and it was whatever, he wouldn't be doing all this double, tripling down. But when you get caught doing something dumb and you realize you probably are fucking dumb, how you respond tells everything. So, yeah, this guy, it's who he is.
Yeah, it's definitely who he is. He's not mean. He's just retarded. And you know what? Without the sake of sounding like, you know, all jokes about death are off limits, like, one of my favorite days on Twitter ever is when Queen Elizabeth died. That day was hilarious. People were instantly joking, memeing, all that kind of stuff. I think if it's a public figure, that's a way different story than some guy you never heard of, dad who definitely was not involved in the public space or the internet. So, you know, there's a boundary line there, we could say.
I see me. I go to human decency for even when celebrity deaths. Like, you remember the thing when Kobe died, the whole blow up with like Ari Shaffir.
Oh yeah.
Like, if you know Ari Shaffir, that's his humor all the time. If you don't know him, he's an insensitive prick who did the worst time thing for the death of Kobe and his daughter. Like, like I said, I think you should be able to joke about anything, but man, have some fucking. You can't then get upset that people get upset with you, right? Like it's one of those things. Like, yes, you can joke about any of that stuff, but yes, people can call you out for doing that. Like, both things can be true. So, Jim, people are going to be who they're going to be. Some people are going to make very fucking dumb, poorly timed jokes, like that asshole. And then some people are going to sell you waifu computers.
Yep, so we can hit this one quick. I probably should have saved this for a crusty corner, but man, fuck it. Not that much to say. So Meta PCs, they've been around for a couple years now. They're very good about reaching out to popular influencers and content creators and people, especially on Twitter. You know, a lot of people are like, hey, use code, MetaPC / say Wang, for lack of a better person. And, well, I love Justin Wang. But, Ricky Berwick, a lot of people have these deals with him. And, they make pre-built PCs. I've never heard anything particularly bad about them. Like, I think they're a perfectly fine performance, all-in-one PC kind of company. But without ever using it, I can't tell you if it's good or not. But I can, with as terminally online as I am, I've never heard anyone trashing it. So let's put it out that way. But this is a weird one. So they write on November the 3rd, because why not? Why wouldn't you want a waifu PC? Right now, speaking my language. Introducing the Waifu of the Month collection. Every month, one new limited edition waifu case print you won't find anywhere else. The builds are handpicked, and if you just want the case print, we can do that too. November edition, Marigold. Limited edition drop now, where they put it on the link to it, and they tag Grums and Cute Sexy Robots. Whoever the fuck that is, but they apparently have 1 million followers on Twitter, so okay. So, who is Marigold? Marigold is apparently the main character of Ember, the long delayed game by Grums, of which he has taken over $600,000 in Kickstarter money and have basically no product at this point. It's still in the same basic, beta stages that it was 3 years ago. And like, apparently there's leaks all the time of people in the Discord going, this shit's just never happening, is it? So, like, I'm not against a waifu sticker you slap on the side of your computer. That's fine. There's about 1 billion characters in gaming that you could slap that onto. And hell, at the very least, it's a good promotional tool for, maybe some indie games to get their notoriety out there. Why the fuck is your first one with Grums for a game that's like, for a guy who's always seeped in controversy, for a game that's riddled with controversy and is basically considered a scam at this point? Man, what the fuck are you doing?
When I saw this, I just went, are they... I guess there's always interesting cultural things, right? Like, are they tone deaf to him and his controversies, or do they just see... Is it strictly like an engagement thing, right? Like, he's got 282,000 followers on Twitter. Maybe they've tracked his... Not differentiating between good interaction, bad interaction. Do they think, whatever, he's a guy in the world, and teaming with him is a smart idea to try and get it out there? I don't know.
I just have to say, Robots' timeline. Whoa, mama.
I did not click that. Oh, wow. Okay. That's...
yeah,
that's
they
some
are...
stuff.
Okay. To put it simply, it is, anime, very well drawn, by the way. Don't get me wrong. Just the artistic quality there, even beyond the tasteful smuttiness, we can say, Brian. It's pretty good. Guy's got some talent. Guy, girl, whoever the hell it is. But yeah, taking a bunch of characters from different games and roll 34 into hell out of it.
People like what they like. People do what they do, Jim.
Games and movies. You got Esmeralda.
I don't got much else to say.
Got Esmeralda from Hunchback of Notre Dame. You've got characters from One Piece.
Fuck.
I might be scrolling a little. Might be.
You know what? Why don't you save the rest of that for your crusty corner, Jim?
Yeah. I don't have to get into that right now. But yeah, just back to the thing, though, to what you said. I guess it's an attention-getting thing, but like, you couldn't have gotten attention literally any other way with like any better person out there. To me, it's just so bizarre. Like the guy who runs it, like, he's online and on Twitter or not, so he has to know what he's doing with Grums before he picks him. So I don't know if it's a thing where he's a Grums fan, which maybe he is without saying it, or he literally is just trying to get the biggest amount of attention he can right away.
I mean, also, maybe they did go to other people and they sold the idea of like a waifu computer, and Grums was the one who said yes. We don't know. They could have went to larger ones, and something tells me Mr. Beast or Ninja didn't say yes to it. So they're like, all right, well,
Well, I mean, they're
who
not
else is
making
out
games
there?
either. So
But you know what I'm saying? Like, who knows who they went to before him? We're assuming it was like the match made in heaven. It was he could have been fifth in line. Who knows?
yeah, it's just such a bizarre pick, man. Like, it's a company that's like done a pretty damn good job forever of staying out of controversy, and it's like you don't need the controversy. I'm sure you get enough attention from all the big people you're partnered with. It's just it's bizarre. Like, it's definitely a thing where it's like, all right, well, I guess fuck this company, because like I personally don't like Grum, so it's like I have a computer anyway. I would never need it, but I don't get it. Like, what are they doing? Like, there's someone at the top. Someone at the top isn't thinking everything through.
Yeah. I mean, Jim, lots of people don't think things through. Like your good buddy Smash JT.
Oh, I love our updates.
Man, it's been a dry spell with the updates with him and Alyssa and the lawsuit, which has spanned way too fucking long at this point. I was hoping it was dead in the water, and then boom, November 4th, lawsuit update from Smash. Basically, the judge has not ruled on the merits of Alyssa Mercante's lawsuit against me. My motion to dismiss was denied without prejudice, meaning the court just wants more info before deciding if New York even has jurisdiction. So then he multiple times basically kind of reiterates that what this means is whether Smash JT platforms have any ties to New York, if any subscribers or revenue came from New York, and whether he collaborated with any New York-based creators. It's nothing specifically about the case. It's more a question of, can he be tried essentially in New York, which I guess is where Alyssa's from or something.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it apparently, I guess if they rule in his favor, then the whole thing could potentially be thrown out. But that's kind of like where it's at. Where it took a more interesting turn, Smash being Smash, and I have the picture up. He did what he does best. He has to put out a YouTube video, and he put up the thumbnail. And from Trenton Gentry 8, it says, last Smash JT dig for a while, can't help this one. This intellectual Adonis made an AI thumbnail with his actual judge in Alyssa's lawsuit against him. Stunning. No notes. Judges love that stuff. So yeah, as you see in the picture, apparently that is the actual judge in this case.
Yep.
He's got Alyssa with the panic and fire behind her and holding up the thing. It's such a dumb move, but at the same time, I'm also like, I mean, I don't know if there's like any type of, I know nothing about, is there a legal issue with doing this? But just from do you really want to potentially piss off the person who could be ruling against you? And granted, in our legal system, you're supposed to take all personal feelings and bias out of it, but the judge is a person. Will she appreciate being thrown up there in an AI-generated thumbnail for your YouTube videos? I'm just saying, if things don't go his way and she's deciding on compensation or anything, she could lean in a little harder than she needs to. I'm just saying, like, why would you even think that's a smart idea? Like, at this point, if you're going to talk anything about your case, I would hope he at least has his lawyer like looking at this shit. That one was fascinating to me. I can't say it shocks me with all the shit we've covered on this, but man, oh man, that's an interesting one, Jim.
Yeah. So, before we get into this, obviously we are not lawyers, but there's only one thing I know as far as like what something means. So when they deny something without prejudice, that just basically means that they can try it again. So if they denied it with prejudice, the motion to dismiss, then he would not be able to try to dismiss it again. So it's not a win for him, but it's also not a loss from that strict sense of the word. Everything else he's writing here, I mean, it's been a while since I read through the original court filings and the follow-up court filings. I'm not reading through 200 pages of court shit again. So if Alyssa's trying to get him on stuff specifically to New York, I don't know, that could be a mistake. That could be an easy thing to get overturned because he's in California and doing it all on the internet. So that, sure. But when I see like 17, self-reply tweets, I just think he's really trying to make this look like a win for himself when there's nothing to pull a win out of here. So, it's just not an L particularly, but it's not a win either. So I don't know what all this the spaghetti he's thrown at the wall is.
Yeah, I don't get it. To your point, who knows? But the only thing I think would be interesting is based on what he's saying, whether Smash JT platforms have any real ties to New York. Well, it's YouTube, it's Twitter. You could make probably all the arguments that it's global, so it could be anywhere. If any subscriber revenue came from New York, I mean, he's got, 124,000 subscribers. I'm sure pulling geographical information, some of them have to be from New York. The question, I guess, becomes, is there a statute of, it's got to be at least 10% of your view? I don't know, whatever the numbers are. And then has he ever collaborated with any New York-based creators? I don't know his history. I don't know who he's collaborated with or not with. So it's but if any of those things are true, then they will find a basis to say that he can be tried there.
Oh, God. I found a cool tweet with, the memorandum and stuff like that, and it's, 54 pages. Yeah, I'm not looking through that. So,
but I will say I went on his actual YouTube. He still managed to keep the judge, but I will say he gave a better picture. It's still the panic. It's still Alyssa, but it's a judge more or less smiling and not seething with the paper. Better picture of the judge, I'll just say. So
why are you putting up the judge?
I mean, you shouldn't be putting up the judge at all. Let's just get that out of the way. Don't put up the judge. But he did what he did.
Dude, Icarus over here. I know you got all your notoriety and fame from being a shit stirrer, but dude, come on. Leave it to the internet. Yeah. This is a real life lawsuit you're in. What the fuck are you doing?
Jim, people never learn until they're burned. Yeah. Like you said, Icarus, you why would you feel like you're not invincible if you haven't been burned yet?
Well, I mean, maybe if you haven't been spending your own money yet on this thing the entire time. So
that helps. Certainly helps.
Yep. But yeah, as always, we're going to keep up with this. It's definitely slowed down on the news on this front, but it's interesting. And of course, the most interesting thing will be the repercussions for, all of YouTube commentary, really, with however this rules.
It's some people ruin the fun for everyone, Jim.
They sure do.
You see it all the time with too much stuff, and once again, I can't pick who I would rather win. I'd want them both to lose. How about that? Is that an outcome? Well, you definitely are. But Chambers, let's move away from all the negativity, and something I'm glad is back. Let's bring back our good old voicemails.
Yes, we have a voicemail, and you can leave any voicemails for us at 267-991-0156. So again, 267-991-0156. You can leave us your voicemails, and we have one this week, Brian. Well, there's two there, but we have been told to ignore the first one because that was a bad take. Right. So just go to the more recent one.
Hey, Jim and Brian, it's me, Blade, and I have a question to ask you. So, Valve is about to release the new Steam machine, which is basically a consoleized PC. And as someone who doesn't usually play PC games because the hassle of buying their own hardware to play stuff and setting everything up is just a major hassle. So, to me, it's an interesting prospect. I'm really looking forward to trying it out, but here is my question for you. How come you haven't played Expedition 33 yet? It's literally one of the best games ever made. Hey, bye.
Damn it!
I was like, fuck, we talked all this stuff about that machine. I'm ready to, and I don't even know what the fuck that game is. I'm looking it up as we're talking.
Yeah, so Expedition 33 is a game that, like, people who have been... Basically, everyone kind of agrees it's a great game. Like, the grifters are like, oh, it's, not the not woke great game, but, like, it's actually, like, a good game that people seem to really like. And, yeah, I think it's, like, an action RPG. So, it's nothing that I'm... like, an action JRPG, I guess I should say. So it's nothing that, I've been running how to play. I've got StarCraft to play. But literally everyone says it's an amazing game, and he like, in our Discord, links to the Discord below, no matter where you're at, you can join in the fun over there. We have a series where people give little reviews to the games they beat this year. And, in there, he put like 5 paragraphs describing the game. And, yeah, the boy likes it. So, could be one worth checking out.
Interesting.
If anyone out there in YouTube, iTunes, Podbean Sphere has played it, leave a comment below. Let us know what you thought of the game.
Listen, Blade knows his games. He has some good picks. He has some bad picks. Blade, you son of a bitch. But, I'll be honest.
What bad picks? What did our boy... What's the bad pick?
One of the years we were talking... I have to go back and look, but it was a game he agreed with you on, so that's how I knew it was a bad pick.
Son of a bitch. Should have known.
Well, you and him argue all the time about Sonic Adventures.
Well, yeah. He thinks they're great, and I'm not stupid. So, we go back and forth like that.
But no, this is a game, honestly, I never, ever heard of. But it's funny, when you look up images... The one image is like all the things I gave it all, like basically 10 out of 10s, 9.5 out of 10s. Like, so yeah, clearly it's a very liked game, but I can't promise anything, Blade. Maybe force Jim to play it. How about that?
What? I
Yeah.
don't wanna.
Do it. Stop losing in StarCraft.
Right. I only lose like 60% of the time.
100% of the time.
No, I have dumb luck wins every now and then. Right, my APM is like almost around 100 now. Like, I'm on the up and up and up.
Well, I mean, when you start from the bottom, I guess you can only go up.
That's goddamn right.
By the way, like Jim said, please make sure check out our voicemail line. It'll be in the link below. Leave us voicemails. We love hearing from you guys. You can ask anything. We've been asked all kinds of interesting things on this show, so make sure you utilize that. But Chambers, the question is, how the hell did those s'more sours treat you?
Like I said, it's a weird one. I think it's good, but it's also one I'm probably not going to buy again. It's one I bought the 4-pack of. I went, all right, it's a thing I did, but yeah, it's almost too weird for its own good. It doesn't know what it wants to be. That's the problem. It's good, but it doesn't know what it wants to be.
Yeah, the Wildwood Haze I've talked about, I think, enough times on this podcast. It is pretty damn solid. I don't love the aftertaste it leaves, but while drinking it, it's pretty good. Glad I didn't have more than one. Fuck, I'm tired and I need some energy before I'm about to be gaming most of the night away. So,
right, you've got like another 8 hours of gaming ahead of you. Like, you got to get on the ball there, boy.
Oh, I know. And then I got to take the kiddos to school in the morning. So I'm going to have to squeeze in like an hour nap right before that. But
at that point, don't even take the fucking nap. That's just going to make it worse.
I know. But with that, guys, we want to say thank you all so much for listening and watching. If you were watching on YouTube, please hit the notification bell, hit the subscribe button, hit the like, leave us comments, let us know what you liked, what you didn't like. If Jim loves his jelly, I always like that comment.
There were a few jelly-related comments.
And if you are listening on iTunes... Spotify or Podbean, please make sure leave us a 5-star rating and we'll read each and every one of your comments on these Power Hour podcasts. With that, I want to say have a good night, everyone. Cheers.
Cheers, everybody.